When the coronavirus hit the United States and my home state of West Virginia in March, I, like many other Americans, found myself temporarily unemployed and extremely bored in quarantine. I've always been one to keep up with social media trends, and something that caught my eye was digital art and digital illustrations. My name is Morgan Branson, and I'm here today to teach you how to complete your first digital illustration and be on your way to becoming a digital artist. There is a huge umbrella that is digital art, but there's a particular style that I was drawn to and decided to use my newfound free time to teach myself how to become a digital illustrator and creator. First, you will have to gather some equipment. Chances are you may already have most of what you need to get started. There are many ways you can do digital illustrations, and I've experimented with two of the main routes you can take. You can choose whether to use a laptop and Adobe Illustrator or an iPad and Procreate. Once you have these products, you should pick a style that is your own unique style and a color palette. I love pastel colors and neutrals, so those are what I tend to use the most in my illustrations. Then you can get to work. You will need to import your photo into Adobe Illustrator or Procreate on your iPad and choose the size of your canvas. I usually go for a standard 600 by 600 pixel sheet. Then you will need to find the image on your computer and bring it onto the screen and resize it. Hold the shift bar and resize to keep the proportion of the image intact. You can adjust the photo until you get it exactly the way that you want the illustration to come out. Here, I want myself to be the center of the image. Then you will start tracing the image. Using the pencil tool, you will begin tracing the image where most of the colors are concentrated. Using the colors of the image as a guide, you will then use the eyedropper tool to pick the color that you want to use. For this particular image, there are only a few colors that I will need to use. The background color, which I will choose last, my hair and eyebrows, the color of my skin, my lip color, the jewelry color, and the color of the flowers, and then any other highlighting colors that will need to be used. There are a few shortcuts which will make your life easier on a MacBook. They are Command-C, which is copy, Command-V, which is paste, Command left and right brackets, which change the layers of the elements, and Shift Command left and right bracket, which will bring an element to the front or the back. You will definitely need to make adjustments along the way, or just simply erase and start over, using the pencil tool or just your cursor. And that's okay, it's a normal part of the process. Be sure to save your file along the way as an Adobe Illustrator file, and once you are happy with the image and no more edits need to be made, you can export it as a PNG. I always choose to use the artboards, do the highest resolution, and art optimize with interlaced and a white background. Then you are done and you can use the image for whatever intended use you had for it. An important thing to note is that Facebook and Instagram and other social media sites tend to lower the quality of the image, so be sure to send them via email or text message if you're sending them to a client. The first ever digital illustration that I completed was this simple selfie of myself that took me probably an hour to do using my laptop and Adobe Illustrator, which I was able to use for free as part of Adobe's coronavirus response for students. I posted this illustration on my own social media accounts and had many people requesting for me to do pictures for them. So I was able to experiment and learn new things, teach myself new things, while building my portfolio using photos of my friends. Once I realized there's actually a huge interest in this industry and type of art, I began to look into how to turn this into a side hobby that could bring me some extra cash in my employment gap. I actually earned my first sale just about a week into doing these illustrations for fun, so you definitely don't have to be a professional to begin making some extra money doing these. I charged just $10 for my first illustration, which was for a friend of a friend who wanted to give a present to her stepfather for his birthday to commemorate their dog who had recently passed away. And this is still one of my favorite ones that I have done. I have now completed over 50 illustrations for my own personal use, for others' personal use, for bloggers, businesses, graduation or birthday gifts, and more. I've seen just one of these digital illustrations go for over $100 on Etsy. My commissions start at $20, but it's really just a personal preference on how much time and effort you're going to be putting into the illustration and how much you want to make as a profit. The way that I market my products is strictly through social media and word of mouth. I've created a separate Instagram account to market just my digital illustrations, but I also post them on my own social media accounts, and that's how I get a majority of my customers. There are many selling opportunities for someone who wants to get into digital illustration and become a digital artist. You can sell on Etsy, you can sell directly to Redbubble or Amazon, you can use Shopify, or you can create your own website where you sell directly to customers. Like I said, I completely taught myself how to do these digital illustrations, and you can too. There are so many great resources through Adobe, on Google, or on YouTube, or simply just trial and error. If I can do it, you can too.